Just give me 1 minute of your time to convince you to watch this video and make these ribs. Today we're going old school. 2 big slabs of spares, no trimming, no removing the membrane. Just wipe them dry, season them with 50-50 salt and pepper, plop them in a pan, put them in the smoker until they're about 90% of the way cooked through, and then watch and wait to see what we do. Surprise, surprise, we timed this video around a major winter storm. We got our fire pit cranking away on the deck, burn that hardwood down, throw grates right on the charcoal, throw our smoked ribs on there, char them up, bring them inside, and slice them. Again, this is something that can be done in your fireplace. We just decided to do it out on the deck. OG ribs. Now let's just pause here for a second and take a look at this cross section. On the left-hand side, you have what you'd normally call your St. Louis or your trimmed up spare ribs. That's what a lot of these videos these days contain. That's what people focus on. I haven't seen many old school videos on spare ribs, but let me tell you what, to the right of that bone is where you have your cartilage. That's also called your rib tips. Some of those pockets of meat that I'm going to point out here are the most tender, juicy, and flavorful part of a rib that most people just discard. Shame on you. So we start off here with 2 slabs of spare ribs from Walmart. I got these from the freezer section. Been looking at them for a couple of years, saying, you know what, someday I'm going to do old school ribs. Well, this is the day. So we take them out of the package and we do nothing but wipe them down. We don't remove membranes. We don't take any fat off. Then we take them, we dry them off, put them in pans, and we season them with 50-50 salt and pepper. This is just a combination of kosher salt and table ground pepper. And once we get them totally coated in the salt and pepper, we then take them and we add fresh ground pepper and grind it on top of the spare ribs. You can never have too much pepper on something you smoke. Get our trusty meter plus out, stick it in the thickest part of the rib, and off we go. So we're smoking these ribs actually the day before we grill them off on the open fire. We're going to keep them in the pan. Put them in the smoker, nothing but salt and pepper. We're not going to take the membrane off the back. We're going to leave that there so that it can soak in the juices. And we're going to get some good smoke coverage on the top of these. And it's going to be awesome. You wait and see. The ribs come off, and if you'll notice, just with simple salt and pepper and smoke, look at that pink hue. I mean, that's what they talk about when they cook whole hogs and they just put nothing but salt on. You get that little mahogany color and it just looks absolutely beautiful and absolutely real. Also, the night before, we get the fire pit set up with our wood, our charcoal, or oil-filled paper towels. We're going to cover it up because the snow is going to start after midnight. Tomorrow, we're going to unveil it. We're going to get the fire cranking, get some good bed of coals, and we're going to grill up our ribs. Now on to live action. Oh yeah, we're back at it again. Back out here. It is about 17 degrees. We've got 8-9 inches of snow. It's sleeting right now. We're gonna get the fire going. Can you ready? All right, let's unbury our logs. Take this off. And come on. Come on. Ah, look at that. Look at that. All ready, baby. All ready to rock and roll. We're going to let this burn. We got charcoal in the chimney starter. We got a lot of grease and oil on paper towels. We got some charcoal underneath, logged off with the wood. And we're going to get a fire crank in here, get a good bed of coals, and we grill off our old school spare ribs we did last night. Get ourselves a nice fire going. Gonna let that go till we get a nice bed of coals. And we're gonna put our grates over the fire. And it is nasty out. A view from inside where it's a little warmer. Yeah, we got a good 8-9 inches out there right now. Now we're getting there. Oh yeah, we're going to break those down a little bit and get our grate set up. All right, next up are the OG ribs. Nothing but a big slab of spares with salt and pepper. No membrane removed, no fat removed. And put that on the grill. We're going to do one slab with nothing and one slab with some stubs. Wanted to get something a little vinegary. Here we go. All right, so we're going to go on there, on here. And there is a good amount of fat. So what does that mean? That means we are going to have some flare-ups, most likely. So let's get some sauce on this one. We're running out of daylight here, so got to get this done before too long. So just slather some sauce on there. Again, a nice vinegar sauce. The other one we're just going to let go as is. And then we're just going to keep flipping and flipping and flipping. And you know what? We'll slather this side as well. What the heck? Why not? Oh, man. I hope we're getting a good shot of that because that looks really good. A nice shot of that flame there. And we're just going to keep flipping and flipping. Actually, let's rotate these. Let's get some nice color on that one. Ah. Oh, yeah, baby. And if you pick these up, you can see how they bend and they crack. That one's cracking. That's a pretty good sign that is a done rib. All right, one final flip. Get this littler guy off first. Put him in the pan. And let's get the big guy. All right, let's see here. How's that for a slab of ribs? Huh? How's that? Oh, wow. Wow. Look at that. That is monster good. All right, we're going to slow down a little bit here. We're going to take our ribs out of the pan and notice that beautiful char from the fire. We're going to slather it with some Stubbs BBQ sauce. You can use any sauce you want. I kind of like the way the vinegar in that sauce offsets the richness and the fattiness of the rib. Slather it on good, and then we're going to slice it up. Oh, boy, that's incredible. OG ribs. Oh, insane. Now, notice here. You've got the rib and you've got the rib tip. So this is the entire thing, okay? So here we go. Oh, man. Seriously? Wow. No, I'm serious. That's the way a rib was meant to be eaten. Mm. Mm. Unctuous, rich, Spicy, smoky. Insane.
So I got some of the cartilage here, some of the skin.
Cartilage is part of the rib tip.
Oh, wow.
But
Oh my
it's
gosh.
incredibly flavorful.
Wow, that's a different ball game. That is a different ball game. That bite right there. That I was eating it before off camera, and it was good. And I was talking to them. It's flavorful. It's juicy. You know, it's good. But that was like melts in your mouth. That was good. That was just.
It was
a treat. Buttery. It was super buttery.
Yes, it is a treat.
Yeah, this is
Comfort food at its max.
Yeah.
No pun intended. That is the.
It's hard to beat for the amount of effort too.
Yeah.
Right, and for how cheap this is. You know what I mean?
You buy at Walmart, frozen 2-pack of spares, about 14 pounds for $29. You can't beat it.
Yeah.
So, yeah. And Max has an insane palate for food, so I trust his. Yeah, falling off the bone is just overcooking your rib. But the key is to not overcook it to the point where it's not juicy. What do you think of that one?
Same deal. Cross stakes the game though. You know what I mean?
Yeah. That was a phenomenal episode of the Gut Smokehouse Barbecue. Smoked OG spare ribs, finished off over an open fire in the middle of winter. It doesn't get any better or more comforting than this. Thanks for joining us on another episode of Gut Smokehouse Barbecue. I'll see you soon. Throw our smoked ribs on there, char them up, bring them inside, and slice them. Now let's just pause here for a second and take a look at this cross section. On the left-hand side, you have what you'd normally call your St. Louis or your trimmed up spare ribs. To the right of that bone is where you have your cartilage. That's also called your rib tips. Some of those pockets of meat that I'm going to point out here are the most tender, juicy, and flavorful part of a rib that most people just discard. Shame on you.